Okay, that first recording I played for you was taken at a hotel. That's why I said there were stairs, and that's why I said there were 8 rooms, okay? So now, the thing about this hotel is I'm going to play some more recordings for you, but first, before I do that, I want to tell you a couple stories and show you some pictures. Alright, in this hotel, there's a couple stories with housekeepers having experiences in the hotel. As a matter of fact, the first one I'm going to tell you, the housekeeper will no longer go in the hotel. And actually, the housekeeper is related. She's a family member of the owner of the hotel. And so, when I interviewed her several years ago, actually quite a few years ago, we were talking about this story. And she said that she was in one of the rooms, room 8, and she had all the rooms open, and she was leaning over the bed, making the bed. As she was making the bed, out of the corner of her eye, she saw somebody standing in the door looking at her. So startled, she looked back at the bed, and she looked up, and that person was gone. So she went out into the common area of the hotel and went through all the rooms, and she didn't see that person there because the door downstairs is locked. That's how you get the security of this building. But when she was in the common area, she looked back to the east end of the hotel. She saw this person again walk out of the opening of the women's restroom, walk across the back of the common area, and vanish into the opening of the men's restroom. It's an old hotel. When you stay here, there's only a women's restroom and men's restroom that everybody there shares. So I asked her, I said, well, what'd you do when you saw that? She goes, I went running downstairs, running into the office, screaming, the stories are true, the stories are true. Again, this is the sister of the owner of the hotel. Okay, her name is Mildred. And I asked her, I said, well, Mildred, what did this person look like? She goes, Dale, he looks like you when you dress up on your tours. Okay. Then there was another time, a couple years later. At this time, that the housekeeper is a young lady with a small 3-year-old girl, and she would bring her child with her when she would do the housekeeping. So one day as she left, she pulled the owner aside, and she said, you know, I got to tell you something. He's thinking, oh no, she found something under the bed I got to deal with, right? Something not nice. And she goes, every time I bring my daughter with me, she'll pull away from me. She'll walk over to the opening of the women's restroom, and she'll go, bye-bye, boy, just like that, every time. Okay? And so he told me the story. Well, I didn't really think anything about it. I mean, I would tell people about it. And then a couple years later, in this building, I was in the building with a group of people. There were 3 couples and myself, and we were actually going to stay overnight and, you know, take some recordings and do some video and take some pictures. And so during the session, we're downstairs in the lobby. Everybody's in the lobby, and this one lady has this really nice DSLR camera. She takes a picture up through the stairs, up to the 2nd floor, with her flash, and you can see in the picture there's nobody upstairs, right? Her second picture she takes right after that, because I tell people when you take pictures, take 2. Because if you're going to get something in the picture, you want to make sure it's not an environmental thing, like a reflection, a light artifact, or something like that. And so she took the second picture, but she took it so fast, her camera didn't have time to recycle the flash, so she took it without the flash, which was perfect. Because when you look at these pictures, I'm going to pass it out. The top picture with the flash, the bottom picture was without the flash, but look at what's sitting on the stairs. When we were downstairs, we had put a ball at the top of the stairs, and we were saying, if there's a little boy in here, could you please kick the ball down the stairs? Well, take a look at this and see what you think. Now, in Halloween of about 3 years ago, for some reason that Halloween, the day before I had like 40 people. On Halloween I had like 3 people. It was me, Superman, and Jasmine, okay? So I got done early, and I ended up at the hotel, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go upstairs and take some recordings. I had a recorder with me. I took some pictures and stuff. Didn't get anything on the recording, but when I looked at the pictures, lo and behold, I got something standing in front of room 4. And if you look at it closely, you can see what looks like a cowboy hat on top of it. So look at that one there. I have it circled on there. Okay? Now, what's really interesting about this hotel, it's been around for a while, and there was a TV show that was shot in 1967. It was called The Invaders, and it was on for 2 years, the same time as Star Trek. And so I always wondered, did I watch this as a kid? So I ordered the DVD from Netflix. And as soon as I put that DVD in and it started playing and I heard the music, all these memories came back. I knew I had watched the show when I was a kid. And so here's a picture of from 1967 and from the screenshot. Do you want to know where this hotel is? Look around your shoulder right there, guys.
Palomar?
Right there on the corner with the totem outside the wall.
We stayed there for her bachelorette party.
Yep.
Did you really?
We rented the whole hotel.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay. That's it right there. Now, while you're passing around the pictures, I'm going to play some things for you, okay? Let me know.
Oh, how do you turn this thing on?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Oh, I see. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I got it.
Okay, here you go.
It's not a hotel anymore, though, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it
What
is.
is
You
it?
can stay there, definitely.
Oh, it looks like a boutique now.
No, just downstairs. The lobby's gone. They made a shop out of it.
Yeah, we danced that lobby.
Yeah, the lobby is gone. They made a shop out of it. So.
Hotel.
Okay, here we go.
Which one is it?
It's the white building on the corner right there. The totem, right behind the tree.
Wow, look at that.
Okay, here we go. Now, you know that first one I played for you, the Go Away? There was a second one too I got later on when I was in room 3. Listen to this. You have to listen very carefully. I call it the moan. In the background, you're going to hear what sounds like a car because it goes. You're going to hear something right in the middle of it. It's not a car. You know why? Because when I'm listening to these, I'm using auto editing software, so I'm watching a graph while I'm listening to them. And if it was a car, the car would be like a small sound and would get bigger as it got closer. It would be steady and it would go down as the car goes away. But this sound on the graph just starts, it goes, and it just stops, and there's a sound in the middle I didn't hear. So listen to this. This is the same time. So the other rustling sound's just me, because these recorders are really sensitive. But you hear that loud bang in the middle? I didn't hear that. And when I played this later for a friend of mine, he goes, "You know what, Dale? It sounds like a gunshot." And I go, "You know what? I didn't want to say that, but that's what I thought too when I listened to it on the recorder." So, now listen to this one here. This is a lady. She's upstairs by herself. You're going to hear a lot of voices because I'm downstairs with her family. She's going to ask a question. She's going to say, "Robert, where are you?" Robert is the name of the individual that bought the hotel in 1954 until he passed away in 1999. She gets a response at the end. Listen to it. It's very faint. Okay. Everybody hear the right here at the end? Those other voices are just us downstairs, but at the very end, you're going to hear right here. Right there, see that? Okay, now check out this one. This lady, she's the only one this has ever happened to when she's there. You can go someplace and spend 8 hours and not get anything. She was there 3.5 minutes, and there must have been something about her that triggered this because she got all this. Hi, are you on the tour? No. Oh, sorry, it's a paid tour. Thank you. So she got this. This is a statement to her. Okay, I have to tell you what was said because you can hear the first part. It says, "I get it," but the last word is "whore," and it goes "whore." So listen to this right here.
That was stuck on.
And she takes a picture. Here's the last one she got. It's one word repeated 3 times. Let me know if you know what this word is. Anybody know what that word is? Racket? You know what racket means? When I was a little boy, I knew because my grandparents would tell me all the time. When I was making a lot of noise, they would say, "Quit making all that racket." And this sounds like an older gentleman going, "Racket, racket, racket." And that's because I'm downstairs in the lobby with the rest of the family and the owner. We're all talking, making noise and stuff. Okay? Here's the last one I'm going to play for you, okay? Now you have to understand that this is kind of like a hobby for me. I go all over Southern California.